Morning, this is Brian. Today is Tuesday, December 20th, 2022. I'm here hiking on Kernan Road here in Cleveland National Forest. And today, my goal is to climb at least Corte Madera mountain. Been talking about doing this for a long time and thinking about it for a couple of years. I'm finally out here making the attempt to do so. Reason why I didn't say anything for the first few seconds of the video because there was something kind of walking around in the brush. So I wanted to see if I could find out what it was so I can see what kind of wildlife was walking around in there. There's something walking around in the bushes, but I couldn't see what it was, so that's why I did a delayed intro to my video. So here we are, this is supposed to be called Kernan Road, I believe. So you get off of Interstate 8 at Buckman Springs Road. You drive for about 3 miles, and you're going to turn right after a sign that says Corral Canyon OHV area. And you're going to follow it for just a little under 5 miles to a pretty sharp hairpin turn, and you'll see an area for about 5 or 6 cars on your left. Then you'll see a gate that I kind of swung the camera towards that had a little heart logo on it, and that's the gate you're going to go through. So here I am just starting on the hike, and a huge sugar sumac, rusovata. This is a big specimen right here. This is a very, very big sugar sumac. Absolutely astonishingly beautiful specimen here. Absolutely gorgeous specimen here. Very large. I don't even know exactly what elevation we're at. I think we're a little below 4,000 feet, I think, at the trailhead, but I don't know the exact elevation. But Corte Madera Mountain is at 4,657 feet. It's going to take us a little while to see that, I'm guessing. So we're going to be walking on this dirt road for a little while. Absolutely stupendously gorgeous morning out here. Got here just before sunrise, and then the sun's up now, but I was hanging out by my car for a minute to pre-hydrate and eat a small snack before getting going. It's probably about maybe a little bit after 6:30, maybe. Nice frosty morning here in Cleveland National Forest. But I would imagine later on today, temperature will get up in the 50s. Nice chaparral whitethorn over here. Just some nice tall specimens. These are quite tall. So we're going through this relatively woodsy portion I've read about and seen videos detailing during my research on the area. So if I'm just going to Corte Madera Mountain, it's going to be a roughly 7-mile hike with about 1,700 feet of elevation gain. Depending on my time and inclination and tiredness level, I might as well try to go for Los Pinos Mountain. I've had my eyes on trying to get up to that lookout tower for quite a while too. Really wanted to combine them into one hike to really maximize my experience in this area. So Okay, it's an absolutely gorgeous morning out here. Just some thin high clouds. It's going to be mostly sunny to partly cloudy today. I'd imagine right now we're probably around 30 degrees right now. But I'm sure it'll jump up into probably well into the 50s by the latter part. So there's a lot of oak dieback here. Probably gold-spotted borer beetle. Hopefully not sudden oak death, but in case you're wondering, or you might already know, we got lots of really large southern coast live oaks up here. These are the more inland and higher elevation varieties here. This is Quercus agrifolia variety Oxyadania, and some very nice, girthy specimens, and fairly tall too. Some fairly tall specimens up here. So, very nice specimens up here. It's just a shame that a lot of them have died off, because some of these trees are actually quite large, and they have some pretty thick trunks on them. So it's pretty nice. And we got a lot of young ones, so we do have a lot of young saplings and younger trees that are reclaiming the area, which is always good. Very nice morning out here. I'm not trying to talk too loudly because this is right on my private property. I don't want to wake up the people living here. But I see this first stretch here is beautiful. It's very, very tall manzanitas. And these are point leaf manzanitas, or Mexican manzanitas. Arctostaphylos pungens. Some very large ones too. These are some of the largest ones I've seen yet. Some very tall skunk bush here too. Rus aromatica. It's this leafless shrub right here. It's winter time, so they're leafless. So I can definitely tell it's below freezing because the ground, although still wet from the rains that we had a little over a week ago, the ground is hard. So that's how I could tell we were below freezing right now, temperature-wise. It's a very nice stretch here. So, a lot of people who do trail write-ups about Corte Madera list it as a pretty tough hike. I haven't really done a lot of tough hikes since moving back from Orange County, so I'm trying to level up a little bit. Just gonna warn you guys now, I'm expecting this is gonna be a long video, so bear with me. I guarantee you, there's gonna be a lot to show you guys. I've seen people doing videos for Corte Madera Mountain on YouTube. So, I don't want mine just to be a little rehashment of what you might have already seen. about this hike. So of course, probably be doing my fair share of botanizing along the way, and just enjoying this beautiful scenery out here. All right, I'll see you a little bit further up the road, and we'll see what's up next. All right, so just about to break off onto my next junction here. So we're not supposed to go that way. That leads to private property. What we're supposed to do is follow the sign on the famous Espinosa garbage can. So we're going to branch off here. And we're going to follow that arrow to Corte Madera Mountain. Going this way will also take you to the junction and go up to Los Pinos Mountain as well. Like I said, I will judge my judge and see if I'm still going to do that. If I do Los Pinos Mountain, the mileage will be closer to 11 miles round trip, because it's roughly a 4-mile out and back going up to Los Pinos. Extra, in addition to the Corte Madera hike. So you really can't see Corte Madera too well until you're nearly at the junction, the next junction, which is going to be another dirt road. That's where you're supposed to get spectacular views of its south cliff. But here you can kind of see up towards Los Pinos Mountain, which is 4,805 feet. So if I don't do Los Pinos today, then I'll have to return for another shot at it. So we'll see how I'm feeling by the time I'm back at the saddle where the turnoff for Corte Madera is, when I return to it from my ascent of Corte Madera. You hear my feet crunching. Like I said, the soil's kind of frozen here. This is really pretty out here. Kind of walking the line between chaparral and oak woodland. So, fortunately, over the years, a lot of these southern coast live oaks have died off, which is a shame. Kind of sad if you think about it. Probably the gold-spotted borer beetle and or sudden oak death. So not sure which of which, or if it's both. It's always quite heartbreaking to see when you're out here enjoying that woodsy stretch when you first begin this hike. So one thing you'll note, starts off very mellow. Very mellow. I believe when we get to the use trail, and there'll be a sign pointing towards Corte Madera Mountain. I think that's where the real work is going to begin on this trip. So yeah, there's Los Pinos Mountain right there. Really good view of it. There's a look. You can actually see the lookout tower very clearly, and a couple of the radio towers. So I really hope I have enough energy to make both. Kind of hope I do. In case I'm out really late, I do have a headlamp. I'm pretty sure with Corte Madera I'll be able to make it back with plenty of daylight, since I got a pretty decently early start this morning. Left my house about 5:40 in the morning. Doesn't even take an hour to get out here from the Santee area, so I'm not even really tripping off that. And on the way to Corte Madera, there's a peak, a small peak or bump along the way the use trail is supposed to bypass. It's Peak 4588, sometimes known as Coulter Peak. So I'm wondering if there's going to be a possible way for me to maybe add that on for good measure without insane brush thrashing. So there is a small peak along the way as you're doing the Ridge roller coaster towards Corte Madera. So I'm wondering if that could be a potential add-on as well. That would really be cool. We'll see about that. Well, I'm going to keep on going. I can still see a little bit of snow on Los Pinos. So some of the shadier spots on Corte Madera might have some too. So I'm just going to keep on going along this, and I'll update you along the way. Alright, so I'm out of the woodsy part and out here in the chaparral here on the Espinosa Trail. Wow, is it beautiful out here. This is gorgeous country out here. So yeah, we've entered a beautiful area of chaparral. It's starting to remind me a little bit of the Guatai Mountain hike. Starting to see some of the same stuff popping up. Like this minty green plant here, Salvia sonomensis, creeping sage. So I wonder if this is ultramorphic soil over here too. So yeah. I'm starting to see a little similarity, at least in environment, to Guatai Mountain, except we're in a kind of open valley. And the temperatures are much warmer up here, and we're more exposed instead of in that chilly sheltered recess down there. But yeah, we're starting to get quite a beautiful vibe up here, and some very familiar vegetation. A lot of scrub oak, of course chamise. I haven't seen any red shanks yet. Chamise's cousin. It's a chamise right here. I haven't seen red shanks on the trail, but I did see it driving on the way here. Some pretty impressive specimens here and there, but I haven't seen any on the hike yet. So what I'm guessing is going to happen is we're going to probably, I'm assuming we're going to head that way, but we'll see. This is ultramorphic soil. I'm surprised I haven't seen southern mountain misery or southern bear clover, Comibati australis. Surprised I haven't seen that yet. I think this is the type of soil it grows on, but I haven't seen it here. I didn't see any going up to Guatai Mountain either, so I don't know. It's still a plant that I've yet to see in my life. Funny thing is, I've seen its close cousin relative, the Sierra Mountain Misery or Sierra Bear Clover, Combatiae foliosa, several times on my trips to the Greenhorns in southern Sierra Nevada in Kern and Tulare counties, over near the, driving up towards the Kern Plateau from Porterville. You see it along 190. I've seen that several times. And I lived, even in Orange County, I lived much closer to the southern mountain misery. Much closer to that. Even in OC. It doesn't grow in OC that I'm aware of, but Orange County's closer to, much closer to San Diego County, obviously, than Kern and Tulare counties. So I know eventually when I go towards Kuchama, aka Tecate Peak, Otay Mountain, I'm going to eventually have to see it. But it's a plant I've wanted to see for years, but I just haven't made my way towards Otay Mountain. I think Otay Mountain would probably be the easiest place to see it. I was supposed to grow on McGinty Mountain, and about a week ago I uploaded a video. Well, it was more of a photo slide of my pictures of my hike to McGinty Mountain, and I didn't see any there, even though it was supposed to grow there. So I was hoping to see it that day, and I didn't. Oh well. Just, I guess, just the wait continues. But yeah, this is very beautiful. When you're along the earlier part of the Espinosa Trail, you will have to look out for poison oak. Right now it's December, so poison oak doesn't have any leaves on it. So you kind of need to know what it looks like in the winter. It does have quite a distinctive twig and bud. Probably do a Google search of what poison oak looks like during the winter. There's none here in this vicinity, so I can't show you, but if I have enough daylight on the way back, I'll try to get as close to it so you can kind of see some of the detail. Because it's really hard to show intricate details on the cameras. Alright, well, I guess I'm climbing towards that pass, because I know we're supposed to be let out at a saddle, and the saddle's supposed to be where you branch off to either hit Los Pinos Mountain or Corte Madera, and you'll see a sign, I think it says CM, point and an arrow pointing to the use trail for Corte Madera. So, just going to keep on trekking along, keep you updated. And I'm loving this area. This is a beautiful area to hike. I wouldn't be surprised if the hike to Morena Butte would be near here. I think, because I saw I think I saw signs for Lake Morena County Park. So I think Buckman Springs would probably be the exit to get off if you want to go to Lake Morena, and I think you can access Morena Butte from there, but I have to do a little more research on that. I'll see you further up on the way. Get some pretty nice views down to our southeast right now. But we're just about to reach a dirt road, which will be our junction. Okay, we're just about at the saddle between Corte Madera and Los Pinos Mountain. That was a nice little workout getting up here. I know the real workout's going to begin once I get to the Hughes Trail to get up Corte Madera. So what we're going to be doing is basically coming up to the road that'll take you up Los Pinos Mountain. Okay, now we are just about at the junction here. Okay, all right. So this is the famous junction. Here looks like a direct way, perhaps, to get up Los Pinos, probably following the telephone pole fire break road or whatever you want to call that. So this is where we go into Los Pinos Mountain. That right there appears to be Coulter Peak, or Peak 4588. And of course, the Espinosa Trail apparently keeps going this way, so we're not going to be taking that. And of course, that's the south precipice of Corte Madera Mountain. So, yeah. So I guess we're supposed to go along this for a little bit. I did see a sign that said CM. The sign that I told you earlier that said CM for Corte Madera. It's right over here. There it is. So you just gotta follow the road a little bit until you find the Hughes Trail to start climbing up. Now, parts of this area are affected by a seasonal closure, and that's for people trying to do rock climbing up Corte Madera. But I've heard it's not supposed to really affect people just hiking the Hughes Trail. So now we're going to start hiking and looking for a Hughes Trail that's going to start taking us up. So get to the saddle, bank a quick right here. Ooh, and time to get into a little botany, it looks like. A beautiful interior live oak right here. This is the shrub variety, of course. Quercus was any ready for testing. This is a nice, rounded, beautiful specimen right here. Nice, beautiful. And now we have entered Coulter pine habitat. Here we go. Look at this. Wow. Here's some nice ones too. That Coulter pine will be our, basically, I believe, the only conifer in this area. This is a relatively low elevation area. There's some nice scrub oaks over here too. I think this might be Quercus acutidens, but I'm not 100%. Quercus berbertifoli and Quercus acutidens probably are both around this area, I would assume. So what we kind of need to do is apparently bank around. I'm thinking the Hughes Trail is going to branch off somewhere beyond that pass or whatever, because over here it wouldn't make sense. So let's go see some of this beautiful scenery. As we walk around the road, I know Some people might think, oh, dirt road, not very interesting. But to me, what's on the side of it's what's interesting to me. That's the plant life and animal life when applicable. So it looks like we got a few frozen puddles here, so try to skirt around here so I don't end up slipping and sliding on that. I wonder where that comes from. Wait a minute. There's a rock duck over here. I wonder what this is. I don't think this is where we're going to go. It would have been pretty counterintuitive. Kind of have to branch off on the left. I want to see what that was, but interesting. Okay. So yeah. Pretty impressive. Definitely something to be excited about, finally doing this hike after so long thinking about it. Could have done it last week, but didn't really get any hiking last week. Just went to a park and botanized the heck out of it. I think it's Gaskell Peak over there. Looks like Gaskell Peak. That one you actually gotta do some pretty serious well, at least in my experience, serious bouldering, probably class 3 to get up to the top of that. There's another one next to it called Lawson Peak, and that one's supposed to be even tougher if you're really not a really serious rock scrambler or rock climber. You might really have your work cut out for you. But yeah, it looks like Gaskell Peak over there. So Lawson Peak will be to its left. I would like to at least, I don't know if I'm gonna make it up to the top of the boulders, but definitely would like to do a hike over in that area too. A lot of that area has actually been burnt. I think it was in the Valley Fire 2020. Pretty close to around the time when Angeles National Forest was getting scorched. I was still living in OC back then. Well, keep climbing. I'll see you at the junction for the use trail. Well, looks like I'm gonna have to botanize on the way to that use trail. I just barely walked a few steps. There's a nice oracle oak over here. Oh, this is an impressive specimen. This is a Quercus marejos. You see a little bit of yellow fall color on it because it is a semi-deciduous large shrub to medium-sized tree. So, this is an oracle oak. Hybrid between interior live oak, Quercus wilsonii variety frutescens, or variety wilsonii, depending on what's around, and Quercus kellogii, the California black oak. So, you can see here, the leaves of it are intermediate between the smaller interior live oak with the kind of odd uneven base and the larger lobed leaves of the California black oak. So, and you can see it's semi-deciduous, so you can see a lot of leaves are shedding, but a lot of leaves are remaining green. And this is a multi-trunked, probably about a 20-25 foot thicket right here. So yeah, the botanical aspect just shot sky high in a matter of seconds. I did not expect to be seeing an oracle oak over here. I mean, we do have quite a bit of interior live oak, it looks like, but I haven't seen any black oak. But of course, not seeing a black oak doesn't necessarily mean you're not going to see an oracle oak, because I've seen oracle oak in the Santa Ana Mountains in Orange/Riverside counties, and the Santa Ana Mountains don't have any known natural populations of Quercus kellogii, the California black oak, but do have tons and tons tons of interior live oak. The ones in the Santa Ana Mountains may be the legacy of an old population, maybe a black oak when the climate was wetter and cooler, maybe, or pollen from nearby, pollen from the mountains in SoCal might get blown over there, I'm guessing, perhaps. But yeah, I mean, I don't think black oak is supposed to be around here either, but yeah, this is definitely a legacy of black oak DNA. California black oak and interior live oak. So that's why it's going to lose some leaves and keep some leaves. So, yeah, beautiful, beautiful. What a cool spot. What a cool specimen there too. I love the multi-trunk, the small tree stature, a little bit of late fall color. I did not expect that. And again, that's another thing I love about when I go out hiking, is sometimes you're going to find stuff you don't expect to see. That's a pretty nice one too. There's one really nice one near Blue Jay Campground in the Santa Ana Mountains in Orange County at about 3,300 feet elevation. Actually, that one, yeah, they're pretty close to the same size, I think, but that one might be a little bit bigger. Pretty interesting. Really impressed. Okay. Just had to stop and point that out because I did not expect to see that. That was a pretty cool little surprise. All right. Well, now I better continue looking for that use trail. So I'll see you probably at the use trail unless something else crazy like that comes up. Okay. So just minutes later, after I got all crazy about that Oracle oak, we are now at the junction, and we are now in a nice woodland of coulter pine too. Very beautiful over here. And I see a CM sign. So we're going to cross over this. There's even Mojave yucca around here too. Yeah. Beautiful wooded area of coulter pine around here. Here's Oracle oak's cousin, interior live oak again. So here we are. Got the sign pointing this way. You see the CM sign? And this thing about the birds nesting on the cliffs. Thus begins the adventure. Now, this is where the real work's going to begin. Like I said, it was a nice little workout in spots coming up here. A couple of moderately steep spots, but pretty tame compared to what we're about to do. This one might actually require a little bit of light scrambling over rocks from what I've read. But this is about to get very juicy. So now we're on the use trail to Corte Madera. From what I read, there are some spots where you kind of have to pay attention where you're going so you don't branch off to somewhere you don't want to go. So we'll have to watch out for that. Oh, I think that's Long Valley Peak over there. You can see the Laguna Mountain crest behind it. But I think that's got to be Long Valley Peak right there. Okay. All right, so now this is where the adventure begins. So far, it starts off very wide, but I'm pretty sure I'm probably going to have to put my hands in front of me like this to swim through some head-high brush. But, like I said, we are making our way up to this awesome peak, and there's Los Pinos. You wonder why it's called Los Pinos. Well, the pines here. Here a lot of people pronounce it Los Pinos. In Spanish, it would be P-I-N-O-S. but I think it's supposed to be Pinos. I don't think it's supposed to be Nya. I think you're supposed to have the Enye in there. I don't think. Those are, you know, spelled the Spanish way. Pinos. I don't think it's supposed to be Pinos. I think it's supposed to be Pinos. Okay, here we go. Here we go. The honeymoon part of the hike is over. Now we start going up and over some gnarliness here. All right, so this is where my pace is going to be slowed down greatly, and the adventure part really kicks into gear. But I'll tell you one thing, the views up here are looking great. As you can see, the Mount Laguna area, very nice views of it. So I'm going to go ahead and keep climbing, and I'll see you at the next juncture. Okay, so I'm still hiking my way along. I'm wondering if that's the famous Peak 4588 that we're supposed to skirt around, aka Coulter Peak according to some people. Of course, there's the big precipice. We're going to be aiming towards that area. I don't know exactly how close you get to the edge of it, but I know once you get towards the edge, you'll be pretty much going into the seasonal closure, which I think lasts from this month into June. So hopefully the high point's not too close to the edge. So far, this has been pretty nice, pretty easy going, but again, from what I've read, there's some pretty gnarly sections. I believe the gnarly sections are supposed to be around this, and again, not 100% sure if that's Coulter Peak. If that is, I want to see if I can break off the trail to climb it, maybe. If I don't have to do class 3 or class 4, like major class 3. A little scrambling, fine, but if it's like really severe class 4 or really tough class 3, maybe not. Maybe get close to the summit boulder, if that's possible. But I do see the trail is starting to lead towards it. I can see it up ahead. Wow. Once I got on this use trail, just had a real sense of awesomeness come over me, because this is absolutely breathtaking out here. I knew it would be, but quote unquote knowing and actually experiencing it, two very different things. And actually the temperatures are quite comfortable. I'm actually slightly breaking a sweat, very slightly. So far, the trail's been very easy to follow. Had no issues yet. But I know there are some gnarly spots near Coulter Peak where I think you go through like a split rock or something, and it's supposed to be pretty gnarly looking over there, but it's all part of the adventure. And this is what it's all about. Challenge, nature, beauty. I'm guessing this is still the honeymoon portion. I've had a few steep rocks to walk over, but nothing more than class 1. I haven't had any class 2 or anything yet. Tell you one thing, this is absolutely breathtaking out here. So peaceful. I just love the vibe. Love the vibe of these mountains here. Okay, so right after my camera's batteries died and the clip cut out, I was walking along the real easy, cruisy part of the trail. As soon as the camera died, that's where I hit a rocky patch. But it wasn't that bad. Again, I just walked over some large, relatively easy boulders. Again, class 1, no class 2 yet. So far the trail's been relatively cruisy. A couple of very short, steep sections, but nothing that I would put this in the strenuous category at all. I think I'm more in awe with the beauty of the place, and it's just driving me on. Now, I know it's supposed to get really scenic. I think near that Coulter Peak, or if that's indeed it, this is what I'm talking about. Just a few rocky areas where you have to step over rocks. Maybe a few slabs, but again, I have not seen anything really bad. It does get steep like this sometimes, to be expected. But now we're starting to get a little steep. But again, we're on a used trail to a peak, so you kind of have to expect some tougher spots. But again, just watching where you step you should be fine. See something yellow over there. That over there. I wonder if that's another oracle oak. It might be another oracle oak. Maybe there are more of them in the area. Gosh, the views are just insanely beautiful. I really wish. See, this is what I was talking about right here. Sometimes you have to walk over or around a couple of these. It's not that bad though, unless it's icy or wet. And soil's still damp from the rain, but the rocks are quite dry. So we kind of seem to be heading towards what I suspect again might be Coulter Peak. Brush isn't too bad either. Probably want long pants. I recommend that on pretty much all these hikes. But yeah, beautiful, those Pinos Mountain. So close, yet so far. I can see the old Forest Service road, and then I can see the fiber. I can see the saddle right down there. Wow, this is where it's getting a little steeper now. So here we go. Just taking your time. Still class 1. This is definitely a little steeper now. Okay, now I think this is where the work begins. Now we're borderline class 2, but nothing ridiculous though. This is class 2 right here. So on your way down, you gotta watch your step. Again, nothing insurmountable, but a little minor class 2 scrambling. Now let me catch my breath for a minute. Gosh, this is beautiful. This is awe-inspiring out here. Elevation-wise, we're not super far underneath Los Pinos, so nice chunk of the elevation gain. It's already done. Okay. Okay, now we got a little class 2 spot right here. All right. Okay. This part's definitely tougher. But again, not insurmountable. This is probably some spots where I'm going to have to stop and catch my breath a few times. Oh, Canyon live oak, first of the day. Quercus chrysolipus. All right. Okay. Yeah, this part's definitely tougher. All right. I gotta say though, this is so awe-inspiring. All right. I think up over here, it's got to be Coulter Peak. So, wondering if I should briefly leave the trail and try to scramble it. I don't know. I'm tempted. Kind of tempted, actually. Let me see. Let me get a little higher up on the trail. So now this trail is supposed to kind of skirt the side of it. Well, I'll check back in soon, and we'll see you up the way. Okay, so let's see. Tempted to try to make a go at it. Tempted, but I think there might have been a way to get it from the southeast. Might have been a path from the southeast. But now we're in a nice woodsy area. Canyon live oak and Coulter pine. Making this very beautiful over here. Very beautiful. This is a very beautiful area. Beautiful Coulter pines. Now we got all these insanely beautiful boulders. Wow. This is absolutely stunning out here. Oh, wow. Oh, man. This is so beautiful. I can't stress it enough. Look at this. This is crazy beautiful. Kind of on the north-facing slope of the mountain. That's why we got a few more pines over here. Wow. I guess that's called Corte Madera Valley. Wow. Oh, wow. This is absolutely insanely beautiful. Oh, man. Almost like this. Oh, yeah. There's an oracle oak in there, too. At least 3 of them now. So, yeah, that yellow bush I was pointing out a few minutes ago, pretty sure was an oracle oak. Just saw another one down there. So, yeah, we definitely got more oracle oak around here. Thanks to these interior live oaks that bear the acorns with the mixed DNA. I think we're coming up on the split rock soon. One I always see in pictures and in videos of Corte Madera mountain hiking. I think I see a split rock up ahead. I'm gonna be honest, this is actually one of the best hikes I've done. This is one of the coolest hikes I've done since moving back, and I've done some pretty cool hikes. All right, well, I know my videos keep cutting out. I don't think that's the split rock I'm supposed to go through. I thought that was going to be the split rock. Yeah, I ran out of memory for my last card, so here I had to bust out one last card, hoping this is going to be enough to get me to the top and maybe to Los Pinos Mountain. Well, I'm sure I'll have enough memory to get to the top. But I have to order more memory cards. Well, you can tell I've been recording a ridiculous amount of video. And I mean, my videos are probably no longer than they were, except for the fact that instead of doing part 1, part 3, part 7, I lump them all together. So I'm probably not filming that much more video than usual. It's just that when you combine them all together, it's a lot of video. Okay, so now we're getting ready for a short downhill. If I would have come a week ago, like I was gonna originally plan, I would have been doing this. This would have been all covered in snow. I still see a couple of remnant snow patches, but this would have been all covered in snow if I came here last Tuesday. All covered in snow. All right, so let's see. Which way are we gonna wind her? I guess we're gonna go. Okay, we're going for our next downhill. Okay. So yeah, I did realize that this was a roller coaster hike once you get on the use trail, starting to get towards the summit. So we'll be climbing up again soon, I imagine. But man, is this scenery here beautiful. I've entered now a nice little grove of canyon live oak trees. I think I can see the summit plateau. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was Coulter Peak that I pointed out, but I didn't see 100% a viable route yet. I thought I saw maybe a potential route on the southeast side of the peak. So I might have to try to visit that on the way out, maybe, if I can make it up there. All right. Now this is where it gets a little sketchy, I think. Now, is this the trail here? I don't know. Yeah, this is where it gets a little confusing. All right. Don't think it's here. But now it looks like we're going to have to down climb a little bit here. This is going to be a little sketchy. It's going to be a little sketchy right here. So I'm going to have to grab onto the rocks. I think this is the way we're going. I'm pretty sure it is. Alright, so now I gotta down climb this a little bit. Again, down climbing is not my favorite part. I think, let me see here. Let me just get around this. See, this is what you want to be careful. Hidden poison oak. That's poison oak right there. You want to be careful of that if you're scrambling through this area. Just watch out. Especially this time of year when it's leafless. Yeah, it's definitely here. Haven't seen too much of it. I've only seen it a little bit along the route up earlier. At the Espinosa Trail there were some. And over here. So I haven't seen a ridiculous amount of it today. I haven't seen any out in the chaparral, thankfully. So it does grow out there too. Okay. This isn't too bad. It's just a little extra care required over here. And I see where the trail continues. So again, you'll have to climb this. You'll have to do this class 2 gully on the way out. But I think on the way out, it'll be less sketchy than on the way in. Because on the way in is downhill. I think that might be the famous split rock area, I think, that I always see pictures of. I think that was it. I always thought that was supposed to be an uphill. Oh well. It doesn't matter. So yeah, this had to have been peak 4588. It had to have been Coulter Peak right there. So maybe on the way back, I might try hitting it from the southeast, because it looked like there might have been a passageway to get up there, possibly. So maybe I'll keep my eyes out for that on the return trip. Right now, we are just in this absolutely stunning canyon live oak woodland over here. So enjoying the nice woodsy vibe this area has to offer. Alright, so I'm going to see where the trail's going to lead out, because somehow we got to get up there. I want to see where this trail leads. Alright, starting to do a switch back over here. I think there's another oracle oak up ahead. Okay, it looks like we're going to be getting ready for the next push. So maybe that was Coulter Peak, I don't know. Maybe that was it. So far, for the most part, except for 1 or 2 spots, this trail has been very, very easy to follow for me. Just, like I said, a couple spots where it got a little less obvious, that I really had to pay attention where I was going. And now we're back out in the chaparral, and we're getting closer to reaching one of my hiking goals. Beautiful Corte Madera mountain. And yes, we got some oracle oak, or Quercus marejus, right along the side of the trail here. Actually some very beautiful fall color on it. This one might actually go almost all deciduous, or at least 80% deciduous. Sometimes these things stay evergreen or nearly evergreen. Sometimes they shed a few, half, most, sometimes nearly all their leaves. So you never know. And since a live oak is their other parent, you'll get fall color much later in the year on them when they do change color, the ones that do. There are a few oracle oaks around here. I like that. I think, what was it, tomorrow or Thursday is winter solstice. There's some beautiful late fall color up here. A couple little spots of it. And these are shrubbier ones. Boy, that's beautiful. Okay. Okay. So I'm kind of on the undulating ridge line now. So far, this part's pretty cruisy. Some dipping and some climbing. Thus far, it's gotten a lot easier since that Class 2 gully. It's gotten a lot easier since then. Much easier, actually. So, right now, I guess it's just following the use trail on the ridge. No, doesn't look like any major dips and climbs. But the terrain out here is just so awe-inspiring. This could be one of the better hikes in San Diego County, Southern California for that matter. I mean, just absolutely breathtaking out here. All right. So my guess is we're going to be following this along the ridge, and it's going to kind of curve around, kind of like a horseshoe, I'm guessing. This is one cool mountain. Oh, wow. So yeah, that had to have been Coulter Peak, because that's the only pointy promontory in the area. Okay, this is where it might get a little confusing. So, once you get to this open area, I'm looking over here, and this has got footsteps in it, and it's a path. So, away we go. There's a lot of point leaf manzanita. Pointed that out early on the video. Point leaf or Mexican manzanita. And we're back in creeping sage again. So yeah, all this is just a little narrow at your waist and arms. That's it. So yeah, when you get to that opening, look for the small, narrow path in the bushes, kind of to your left-ish. And you'll see footsteps. Lots of footsteps. So let's see where this leads. And of course, Cuyamaca and Stonewall and North Peak. I can even see Taro Peak from here. Monument Peak. Yeah. I see a little more fall color along the slope there under the Coulter pine, so I think more Oracle oaks out there. I haven't seen any pure black oaks out here. Oh, there's Otay Mountain over there. I was mentioning going there to finally see my Southern Mountain misery. Coming back to Australis. Hopefully, eventually, for the first time. This is... I mean, except for, honestly, except for a few steep spots and a couple of scrambly sections, this isn't that bad. This is actually kind of relaxing in a way. There are quite a few cruisy spots, so it's not all just looking up at a 50-degree angle going, oh, how the heck am I going to get up this? It's not like that the whole way at all. I mean, there are a few cruisy sections like this that'll give you a chance to enjoy the scenery around you, that instead of looking at the rocks at your feet, making sure you don't scramble incorrectly. Again, this is... Parts of this trail are actually quite easy to hike. Like I said, it's just a few spots where you have to watch where you're going really carefully. So now we are, looks like we are probably going to be doing a little bit of a horseshoe around the side here. Well, this is my last memory card, so I'll check in a little bit and see where I am. Okay, so that's the last hill I climbed. And now I'm getting ready to climb the next hill. So I had a little bit of downhill on the way here. I remember seeing this tree too. Remember this coulter pine. I've seen that in people's pictures and videos. It's a nice one too. And those two. I remember seeing those two in the videos and pictures. All right. So yeah, I think that was Coulter Peak over there, or Peak 4588. Still tempted to climb it on the way out. I'll see why I shouldn't. As long as I can find a viable poison oak free route to get up there, I think I might give it a whirl. Okay. Yep, lots of picturesque trees up here. Beautiful coulter pines, that's for sure. So we're getting close to the ridge line, I think, again. So it's kind of like we went up towards the ridge line, and we've been kind of skirting it on the side a little bit. And now we are climbing a little bit. Again, after that sketchy part where I shot the video going down that class 2 gully where the boulders were, it's been pretty mellow since then. Some ups and some downs. Though it may make some people think, oh boy, I'm gonna have to climb this on the way out. There aren't any really serious sustained climbs. And it does kind of give you a little bit of a break when you're going up to the peak. Alright, let's see. What an outstanding hike this has been. Oh man, can't stress it enough how incredibly awesome this mountain is. Really happy to be here. Really happy. Do have to watch out for some trail splits. Looks like something going this way. I'm gonna follow it going this way. This looks better defined. So you do get occasional trail splits. I had one about 15 minutes ago, but it split around a couple of oak trees and it rejoined. So I'm assuming if that is really a trail split, it'll be the same thing. Okay. Let's see here. Getting towards a plateau, it looks like. So we're making very steady pace getting up here. I don't know if I'm exactly near the summit high point, but elevation wise, I don't think I'm that far away. Just very, very, very slight uphill grade right now. Kind of cruisy, actually. Had a little tickle in my throat. It's probably from all the heavy breathing from those few steep sections. Sometimes I get a little tickle in my throat when I breathe in deeply. I don't think we're that far now. I don't think. Definitely elevation wise, the elevation gain is mostly done to the peak itself. There'll be some on the way back, but it's all right. It's worth it. It's worth it to get up here. So I think we're basically on a summit plateau. Not calling it a summit yet, obviously, because we're still going uphill a little bit. But these boulders are beautiful up here. This is absolutely beautiful country up here. Let's see. See some higher terrain over that way. And some coulter pines. Alright. The only thing that might get confusing occasionally is the fields of rocks. When you get to the other side, just keep going your same direction through the rocks. And then on the other side, you should come out on the trail again. So just one thing you just want to watch out for, maybe. If I can see, we're gonna have a little dip here, and then we're gonna be heading over towards the coulter pine grove. All right, I'll see you along the way. All right, so I've been going up and down, a little bit down, and now just looking to see where the summit's going to be. I suspect I'm pretty close to it. Not much elevation change over here, honestly. All right. Trail just keeps going this way, so I'm just following it. Just following wherever this thing goes. We've been kind of on the ridge for quite a while now, it looks like. And after I last shot film, I had another small downhill and another small uphill. Okay, so now gotta look around here and see what the deal is. This trail gets very narrow, easy to navigate, but definitely gonna want long pants on this hike, without a doubt. Okay, so I suspect I might be near it. I just gotta look and see where it is from here. Go around this sugar sumac here. Okay, quick little scramble up here. Ouch. Okay, well. Oh, there it is. That's where the summit sign is. However, that point over there, where that big boulder is actually looks higher. So does that. So I'm over by the summit sign. That point right there looks a little higher. Interesting. The summit register and the summit wood sign over there. I'll go over there momentarily. I guess maybe I'll do my 360 up here because I'm on pretty good stable footing right now. So that shouldn't be an issue. Okay, well, where do I start? All right. I'm going to start off more towards, okay, that's southeast, heading towards Los Pinos Mountains. So let's see. I'm going to start west. So roughly looking west. There's a little bit of haze towards the coast. And there's a little bit of misty haze here inland too. But I think we can still scrounge up some good views if we look carefully enough. So I can see way out towards Rancho Penasquitos, Black Mountain over there that I did a couple weeks ago. I can see the hills of Mission Trails Regional Park and Highway 52. You even see Soledad Mountain, Mount Soledad, over by La Jolla, downtown. And then I'm going to go zoom back out. Closer at hand, we have Gaskill Peak there, Lawson Peak, Lions Peak. Fortunately, that's still off limits. I don't think it ever will not be off limits. Otay Mountain, right near the border. And that appears right there, that pointy one appears to be Cuchama, or Tecate Peak, near Tecate, California, and Tecate, Mexico. And then, I can kind of see Table Mountain in Baja California. You can see the Sierra Juarez Plateau and Sierra Juarez Range off here to the south. And of course here looking southeast, we're looking at Los Pinos Mountain. Still thinking I might make a run at that. Now we're looking towards Imperial County. This is still quite a ways away, but you can see some of the, if you really look carefully, you'll see it in person better. You can see the windmill farms in Imperial County from here. And there's that appears to be the saddle. There's a saddle right down there where I came up. And right there is Peak 4588, or Coulter Peak, which I might still make a run at on the way back. But I don't know, that kind of looks like the high point there. That looks like a higher point right there, actually. Huh, kind of interesting. But back to what we're doing. So we're looking towards the Laguna Mountains over here, off towards the east. And now we're looking northeast. I can see way over towards, looks like, I think that's Toro Peak over there. Way off in the distance. In the foreground here, I can see Guatay Mountain, one I did a few weeks ago. Then, of course, Stonewall Peak, North Peak, and, of course, Cuyamaca Peak. And I can see the long ridge of Palomar Mountain off there to the north. Then, looking northwest, I'll zoom in a little bit, but the camera won't get it as well. I can see Santiago Peak in the Santa Ana Mountains, way off in the haze over there. And a little closer at hand, that one there is Viejas Mountain with El Cajon Mountain just behind it. And now we swing it back around to the west. You can kind of see the top of San Miguel Mountain just to the left of Gaskill Peak off in the distance there. That's San Miguel Mountain. And I think over there, I think that one there might be McGinty Mountain. That might be McGinty. That might be McGinty Mountain over there. So yeah, just like I've read about, the views are quite impressive. Very impressive up here. But again, like I said, that point there appears a little bit higher than where we are now. Because, yeah, it looks higher than where my foot would be. And going up to this rock here wouldn't make much of a difference. So I might have to go look around there, but I'll at least get to the summit register. And that's where they put the summit register right there. So go head over there. Just kind of walk through this notch a little bit here. You have to do it a little carefully because it's kind of narrow. Get caught in scrub oaks. Oh boy. So yeah, it doesn't appear that the summit register is on the highest point. So here it is. It's official. Corte Madera Mountain. Well, I don't know if I really consider this official because some of the terrain around here is a little bit higher. But, well, here's the summit register, and there's the sign. So, and again, that's looking back towards Coulter Peak right there. So, I might go look around and see if I could find a way up to that one little bump over there. So, all right, I'll see you on. Now, before I start going down, or not really going down, but looking to see if I can access where it looks a little bit higher, we are right at the edge of that big drop-off cliff. So if we go really further beyond this point, we're actually going to be entering closed territory because of the raptors nesting. So I'm not going to go any further than this in case there are any birds nesting, but yeah, this is right where the big sheer drop-off is on the southeastern face of Corte Madera. So it's pretty cool. I mean, we got some really good valley views down here. Some deep canyons down there. Hundreds and maybe even over 1,000 feet down from here. Just absolutely astonishingly beautiful views. Looking down in that canyon. This is a very awe-inspiring area. But again, I think I'm going to have to go try to work my way over that way where I saw that higher bump. I saw that too. That looked like it was a little bit higher. Actually, the ground of there is a little bit higher than here. So you know me, I don't feel 100% official yet. So I'm gonna maybe shoot a couple more pictures, and then I'm gonna go start wandering over there and see if I can access what seems to really be the high point. But besides that, this is really cool summit area. Definitely very highly recommend a hike up here. I won't be doing as much filming on the way back to the saddle. Maybe an update or two, maybe. And maybe an update if I find a way to make it up there to Coulter Peak or Peak 4588. But other than that, I'm not going to be filming as much on the way back. I'm going to try to see if I can get over to that high point and then shoot a short clip over there. And we'll see how that goes. But other than that, I'll see you along the way. So I've left the summit. I left the where the summit sign is. Went past that really tall boulder that I looked at from the summit. I think I might have passed by where that higher point, that apparently higher point is. It's over there, I think. I think that's it right there. I really don't think I see a viable way to get over there. I don't think. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to be happening because I'm not going to be trying to bushwhack in this. This is almost impassable. Off trail. That was the little knoll I was looking at. That it looked like it might be higher. But if I don't see at least some kind of breach, I'm leaving it official at where I just came from. I got that point over there that's a little bit higher, but we've been going downhill a little bit. So I think I'm just going to leave it alone. don't know if there's really a good way to get over there. At least nothing that looks appetizing from here. Because I know it's going to be bushwhacking and very thick chaparral. So I'm thinking that might not be a very good idea. It's tempting. Like I said, I'm not really sure. It looked like it might be higher, but sometimes it's kind of hard to tell just by looking. Man, that was kind of it there. But this does occasionally happen when you're a peak-focused hiker, and you want to make it feel official by finding the higher point. So if you're in an area where the GPS or whatever tells you, and even Peak Bagger and other peak-focused websites tell you that, okay, this is the point right here, and this is where the point is, where the register is, summit register, and da-da-da. Sometimes you look around and you see something that might be higher in the nearly immediate vicinity. And Corte Madera is one of those. It's one of those, I kind of had a slight feeling in the back of my head that that was going to possibly be the case today. And it kind of looked like it was, but to get over there requires some extremely dense chaparral. So unless you have an extremely strong constitution, I don't know if that's really a viable option. Unless you're a really gonzo insane bush thrasher. I'm not one of those because I don't want to really do any damage to the chaparral. But yeah, I think that was the one I was looking at that I thought might be a little higher. But yeah, I think I'm still going to try to go for Coulter Peak. So, I mean, basically, I was on the summit plateau of Corte Madera Mountain. The register was there, the Instagram sign. I'm not on Instagram, by the way. I don't have any account with them. But I think that was, yeah, I think that might be part of the knoll. That looked like it might be a little bit higher. And of course, there are boulders on top of some of these knolls, so it's a lot of times. I don't always feel the necessity to climb a boulder to feel completely satisfied on being on a mountain, unless it's class 2 or easy class 3, because I'm really not really much inclined for rock climbing. But this is our first uphill on the way back out, so we're actually going to go over this hill. But yeah, I don't see any breach in the chaparral over there. It's basically a continuous carpet of manzanita, chamise, scrub oak, the stuff that you really don't want to have to go through. It's beautiful to look at. I think so, at least. But it's not fun to go through. I have bushwhacked cross country in chaparral, and I couldn't get very far doing so, especially when the shrubs are tall and packed together. So that little knoll there doesn't look very much different. That's one of the last, that's the last relatively moderate push to the summit. I'm actually going to be going over this knoll here. This is the knoll I came up on the way out. Now I'm on the back portion of the hike. I didn't bother signing the summit register. This is kind of my signature, my videos and my pictures. I consider those like my summit register. Sometimes I do sign them. Sometimes I just get too lazy. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I made it to the ammo box and the summit sign, so there it is. All right. Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell. But yeah, I think I'm gonna make an earnest attempt at Coulter Peak, or Peak 4588. I think I want to make an attempt at that. I think it'd be wise to at least try. And I'm still thinking maybe going for Los Pinos. So, just about to round this little knoll here. Alright, see you on the next clip. Alright, so once again, I'm starting to round the sides of Peak 4588, or Coulter Peak. Just trying to see if there's a way up from this direction, but it's pretty much cordoned off by gnarly boulders and chaparral. Probably poison oak too. Let me see. Let me just kind of scout up here a little bit. I got to really watch out for poison oak. Again, I thought I saw something that could potentially be an access to the peak from the southeastern slope of it. Ooh. Let's see how this ends up. Let's see how this works out. Finally, sat down, took a small water break, sat on the log of an old coulter pine. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know if I want to go this way. There might be a better way. Let me just go back to the trail. Just wanted to kind of scout out some possibilities. Still wanted to try to make a trek up there. But I want the country to be relatively open so I can see what's in front of me. Like a bush of poison oak or something like that. I want to be able to see that before I start reaching for something. I do see it around in the area, so I want to make sure that I don't brush up against it. So we're getting close to that sketchy gully part. Pretty soon. I think we're just about there now, actually. Let's see. That is a really cool looking area, though. Yeah, okay, we're at it. This is it right here. Alright, so this is going to be the next challenge to surmount. I wonder if all these roots here, I wonder if they come from that small live oak right there. I wonder. That's crazy. So now you know that oak trees in these drier climates have Very large root systems. Kind of seems to be leading up to this little canyon live oak tree, I think. That's a long root, as you can see right here. Again, doing some class 2 here. This part's kind of steep. All right, grab onto this tree, get over this. Huh. Whew. Wasn't too sketchy coming up, but that's for sure. Just had to pull yourself up a little bit. And nothing more than some moderate class 2 at worst. Now we're back on single track. Now we're almost going to be rounding the southeast face, which I think might be a potential ascent route. See. Very large point leaf manzanita. Aristophalis pungens. This is a nice one. This is a big one. All right. So I think I'm just about at that point where I saw what might be a potential ascent route up this. Just looking out for where I might have seen it. I think it might have been further back a little bit. I'm hoping. Let's see. Almost looked like a trail junction. Almost. I don't think it really was. Let me see. I think when I get around here, I think it might be it. No, maybe not. Let's see. Maybe just my mind playing tricks on me? Maybe? Huh. Could have sworn I thought I saw something that looked like it could have been a potential ascent route. I don't want to lose too much elevation and end up having to gain a lot of extra on the way out. Or on the way up there, but I don't know. Really curious about trying to see if I can get my way up here somehow. If I can find a nice, relatively mellow slope, maybe I can make this happen. if I can avoid too much bushwhacking and poison oak. Just trying to see if there's a possible departure point here that might work for me. Here we are in this little coulter pine stand right here. Let's see. Alright. Ascent routes. Let's see. Alright. Let me scout up this way a little bit. Let me see. See if I can make something out of this. I don't know, but we'll see. Pretty. Pretty neat. So as a reference, left the trail at the little denser stand of coulter pine. It's steep and loose. Just want to see if it's going to be a real bushwhack. Be cool to get up to this peak though. Let's see. What would be a better way? Let's see. This is going to require a little effort and route finding. I can tell. Well, maybe if I go around. Maybe if I go this way. This is going to definitely take some effort in route finding, since this is completely off trail here. If I could find a relatively less brushy route to get up here, that would really be cool. Pretty steep over here, not gonna lie. I had to take a few breaks. This is pretty tough. Here we go. So far, so good. All right, I catch my breath for a minute. So I just got to remember to aim for this little stand of coulter pines to get back to the Corte Madera use trail. So let's see. What can I do here? Okay. Ouch. Candy live oak leaves are pretty sharp. So yeah, a little bushwhacking. So far, not too much though. Whew. Actually, for the most part, so far so good. Here's another oracle oak. Quercus marejos. This one tends to be more evergreen. So they all have, individuals will have different habits. Appears to be another one over there. All right. Looks like I'll have to do a little scrambling over here. Whoa. Whew. Let me see. Try to figure out what'll work out better for me here. Man, if I can get to those coulter pines, it looks like I got a couple workarounds. I might have to scramble over these boulders over here, though. Don't really see a good workaround. Get through there. Looks like a good bushwhack. So let's see. Scramble up over these boulders here. So I'll have to bushwhack through one canyon live oak, it looks like. Boy. Whew. It's pretty tough. Kind of swing around that. Woo! Wow! It's pretty tough. Alright, let's see what my next move is. Again, wear long pants. I'm probably gonna get jabbed over here. I don't know how much more I have to go, but oh boy, it's pretty steep over here. And all these pine needles make it very slippery. Okay, let me catch my breath. It's pretty tough. All right, I'm gonna have to focus on getting up this safely. So I'll see you on the next clip. All right, so I'm up here on this rock. I kind of swung around under this coulter pine up that little ledge, and it just looks like an inane amount of bushwhacking. So I really don't think that I want to continue with this. So I came up here. This is how I came up. I came up on here. Yeah, I don't know if I really want to go for this peak that badly. Not to have to bushwhack that redonkulous amount. So I think I'm going to nix this. I mean, I don't think I'm that far elevation-wise from the top, but I'm definitely not close enough to where I want to say, hey, summit time. So I think I'm going to kind of nix the plans for this one. I'm going to have to get back down this pretty carefully because that rock right there is dislodging. I think, let me see here. Let me see. There we go. And what I did is I kind of swung around, kind of grabbed onto the coulter pine, kind of swung around this little Coast live oak sapling. Let me see if I can do it again without busting my butt. Okay. All right. Yeah, it was pretty sketchy. Very sketchy, I should say. So now I'm just gonna nix this. I don't want to make it all that much extra effort, especially if I want to save energy to get up to those Pinos. Let's see. Now I got to get my butt down this again. I got to aim for that grove of trees right there. So where did I come? I'm trying to remember which way I went. We got the side hill over here. Yeah, that's pretty sketchy. Boy. Oh, yeah. Let's see. Better which way I choose. There are definitely some obstacles in the way. So, probably just gonna go back down the way. Try to go back down closer to the way I came up here. So let's see. I think this is the way I came. I think I went down this way, or went up this way. Oh boy, very tight over here. Oh man, that was not fun. Sometimes you gotta make your own adventures. All right, well, we'll just chalk that up to let's put that in the L category for now. All right, like I said, I didn't want to make it so much of an effort that it would take me out of the running for trying to get up to Los Pinos Mountain. Still wanted to get up to that. So, oof, gonna need to start buying safety goggles. I'm smacking myself in the eye. Alright, so I didn't go up too far, so shouldn't have an insane amount of difficulty getting back. I'll keep going the way I came up. Should be okay. Did make it a little ways up. Just look for where the footing is a little bit better. That was sketchy as heck. Yeah, this was the area I was looking at when I started when I was climbing up towards Corte Madera. I was kind of looking at this area. Yeah, you can get a little ways up. So I'll have to look at the peak bagger. I'm pretty sure 4588 or Coulter Peak is on peak bagger. So should be able to look up other people's GPS routes. So kind of disappointed I couldn't get up there. But glad I didn't keep pushing myself too far and maybe get into a situation where I have to do something insane to get out of it. So, oh well, it's worth a try. This looked like a more logical place. It looked a little more open. Oh well. It's going to be back on trail again. I feel good now. Well, actually, this wasn't really it's actually more the east slope of the hill, or the northeast slope. It's nice to be back on trail again. And I'll be on trail unless I decide on another approach. Pretty much going to be on trail the rest of the day. Trail / dirt roads. Unless I find a peak baggers route that stands out and looks like it's doable without overexerting myself, especially if I want to do the extra 4 miles out and back to Los Pinos. Kind of disappointed I didn't make it up there, but I don't even know how far I was from the top. It was very steep coming up. See, now we're rounding the southeast side of the mountain. That was pretty cool. Well, back at the saddle. I've had a really big disappointment with the memory cards. I already filled up the second memory card I switched over. So if I'm going to do Los Pinos, I'm going to have to keep my clips very short. So I'm gonna have to maybe just shoot a little bit and that's it. Maybe a little bit on the summit, but I'm gonna be keeping these clips very short for the rest of the day. So yeah, what I did is I erased the video and some of the pictures from last week, and now I have about 8 minutes worth of video I can shoot. So deciding whether I'm going to go up the road or the fire break. By the next clip, you'll see where I am. I think I'm just going to head up the road. So I'll see you along the way up the mountain. Well, I'm a little ways up, going up some zigzags, some switchbacks. Again, I'm not trying to film too much, so you just follow the signs at the saddle for Los Pinos Peak. Either go up that fire break, which I opted not to, because I'm already starting to feel a little bit of wear down from all the roller coaster on the way back from Corte Madera. Figured I'd just follow this relatively cruisy road. It's been mostly pretty mellow, not super steep, but it's definitely enough to make me occasionally want to stop and rest for a minute. But we're kind of getting into the grove of coulter pines. Sure, there are going to be more zigzags, so I'll keep updating you towards the end of this up at the peak. Well, just about here. I'm just going to go climb over here. Here I am, Los Pinos Mountain. Well, here we are. There's somebody working in the radio towers. So this is it. Los Pinos Mountain, 4,805 feet. Here's the lookout tower. Looks very old and not being used anymore. Not that I know of. But yeah, this is the peak. Here we are. I know I didn't film much on the way up here because I'm almost out of camera memory. But let's enjoy these views. Imperial County, Laguna Mountains, Cuyamaca Peak through the trees. I can see all the way towards Coles Mountain, Otay Mountain, Cuchama or Tecate Peak, and the Sierra Juarez Mountains in Mexico. So, definitely feeling tired now. It was quite a haul getting up here. I don't think I'm going to be doing too much, if any, filming down from here, only because I'm almost out of memory. So, probably just going to scramble around, maybe take a picture or two, and start getting ready to head back. Maybe have some pictures at the end for a formal ending, but I'm going to say goodbye now. Thanks for watching. Like I said, I'm not really going to be doing any filming on the way down, so I'm just going to go down the fire road to that saddle and then take the Espinosa Trail back to where I parked. So pretty easy. Nothing to get worried about getting lost or anything. Thanks for watching, and hope you enjoy this video adventure of me hiking Corte Madera Mountain and Los Pinos Mountain here in Cleveland National Forest. I will see you on the next adventure.